Okay guys, we've got the pour. For the most part, I love it. Now we have to decide which parts of the composition we're gonna paint a solid color that's gonna match the background. Now there's a couple of things to consider when you're trying to figure that out. Obviously, I think the first thing people would do would be, what part of the composition do I not like? Do I want to get rid of? That is obviously the first thing you want to go for. Sometimes it's hard to get rid of stuff we don't like, besides scraping it, right? So in this technique, that's one of your options. But you also want to take into consideration your composition when you're done. What is going to make the coolest, the best final composition when you're finished? So those are the two main things that I think of when I'm going back and looking and, deciding what I don't like and deciding how I want the finished product to look. So this is what I came up with. Now here you can tell where the colors started blending. Unless you use a split cup in your pour, it's hard to pour from a cup and the last half of it not be a little more blended than the first half, right? So I like how this blended. This is a little too much solid color for me. So I think what I'm gonna do is take out this portion right here. So I'm gonna take it out right there, take out all the black, and take it out right here. So we'll have a black strip left here. So it'll be like this, and then it'll finish this way, and this part will be the background color. Now here, I got to thinking really hard. It was like, oh, I kind of really like all of it, but what I'm gonna do is do something a little bit different. I'm going to just do a portion. Where did I find it? I think it's right here. I'm just gonna do that much. And I think I'm gonna leave that one black stripe right there. I'm gonna take this out and take this out, so all of this will be gone. It'll just be like this center part, but it'll still be connected up here. So you'll have this, and then you'll have the background color, and then you'll have this. So I think that will work. Like I said, I really like all of this, but I do want to take something out so that everything flows together. So that's the plan. So I'm going to paint these portions with my background color. Okay guys, so I got the first coat on the areas that I painted over, and I apologize for not filming it, but my dad called and I was already kind of starting, so I just decided, you know what, let's just put the first coat on. I like to paint when I'm on the phone. It's so weird. It's just a nice distraction, and it gets me out of my head. But anyway, this is the first coat, and I'm just gonna do time lapse for the second coat, so you can just kind of see how I do it. But it's actually looking really good. I'm really excited about it. I forgot to mention, when I first started putting on the paint, it was about, I don't know, 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, but I poured this last night. So it's been about 24 hours, and I was able to paint over it. This recipe dries really, really fast, which is amazing. So yeah, so there we are. So I'm gonna put the second coat on, and I'll put you on time lapse. Now what I'm doing here is varnishing
the lines of the composition with gloss varnish. I use Liquitex gloss. And on the solid colors of the composition that we painted to match the background color, those are varnished in satin, which dries very, very matte. So I do that because I love the contrast that it creates. It just gives your piece so much more interest. And now, of course, I am finishing it up with some colorful dots, and we'll see the finished result here in just a minute. So I have been wanting to do a painting with the base coat in this Liquitex green gray. It is such a subtle, just sublime color that I have fallen in love with, and I've used it so much. And I finally got around to using it as the main color. But adding the dots in the lime green and the metallics, and especially the turquoise, just really, really brought this whole piece together and literally brought it to life. And I could not be happier with it. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You know I enjoy spending time with you. I can't wait to see you next week. So take care of each other. I'll see you soon.